In this video I will be attempting a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokémon Y using only Steel-type Pokémon. Steel types often have big defense stats, but are frail on the special side and there generally isn't an abundance of them. These are the encounters I have access to in this run. Since this is a Kalos run, aside from the usual rule set I will be playing with 2 additional rules, those being no Mega Evolving any Pokémon and not using more party members than the Gym Leader or Elite 4 member I'm fighting. The full rule set can be found in the description. I will also be using rare candies to level up my Pokémon. I name myself Ford and pick Chespin as my starter so my rival will have a fire type. However, my actual first encounter is a Riolu west of Santaloon City in Route 22, whom I call Titanium. After running around for half an hour or so, the friendship is high enough to evolve him into Lucario so he gains the Steel type. Titanium is my only encounter before the first gym, so I take on Viola. Titanium can take out her lead Surskit with a couple of quick attacks, remaining on high health and having wasted Viola's potion. Her Vivillon is a massive threat with Infestation and Harden though, so I have to take it out as soon as possible. I made sure to edge Titanium to the level cap so he would level up after defeating the Surskit. Luckily for me, Vivillon only uses Infestation after the 3rd quick attack, meaning Titanium is safe to take it out with a 4th and more than half HP remaining. The portion of the game between the 1st and 2nd gym is massive in this game. The first hurdle is a battle with Professor Sycamore, who has the Fire-type starter Charmander. Right before entering Lumiose City I got hold of the Return TM, however, giving Titanium a 102 power normal type attack to make quick work of the trio. I finally get another encounter outside the Perfume Palace in Hone Edge. I call her Zirconium. Her ghost typing is a staple in this mono-lock. Another encounter joins the team, as I catch Amar while in Glittering Cave, whom I call Selenium. Finally, I get one last encounter before the 2nd gym, and it's a unique one. By trading with an NPC in the Sillage City Pokémon Center you can get a Steelix, by far the best in-game trade in the franchise. With that it's time to take on Grant, but as you might suspect, this gym is a total breeze with my team. Titanium is able to solo Grant with super effective power-up punches for the 2nd gym badge. Tantalum the Ferroseed joins the party in Reflection Cave, as I face off against Serena in the first rival battle. Her Braixen is a massive threat to my Pokémon, and the only way I can consistently defeat her in future rival battles is by setting up. Other than her Braixen, Serena's Pokémon are essentially fodder, so Titanium is able to clear the battle on his own. Karina certainly doesn't plan on losing to Serena on the topic of who's the biggest pushover, as she has only one move on her team that can hit ghost types, and it's Rock Tomb. Needless to say this battle was a free win, so I set up and sweep with Zirconium. Serena challenges me again and could have taken out Titanium if she had gotten a crit on Psybeam, but alas she fumbles the bag and I move on to the 4th gym leader, Ramos. His Go-Goat is actually a huge threat with the ground type move Bulldoze, so my strategy is once again to set up and sweep. As long as Titanium doesn't get crit twice by acrobatics the fight is in the bag, which doesn't end up happening. Now that I have unlocked the Lumiose Badlands, I backtrack and catch a Nosepass on Route 10, whom I call Manganese, and can immediately evolve into a Probopass to gain the Steel typing. Zirconium also evolves into a Doublade before the fight with the 5th gym leader Clement. His lead Emolga is completely walled by Thumper the Steelix, who can also set up Stealth Rock to break the Magneton sturdy later. The Emolga falls to 2 Rock Slides and his Heliolisk and Magneton both go down to 1 dig apiece. The next fight with Serena is boring so I'll be skipping it. What is exciting though is the fact that Tantalum gets to evolve into a Ferrothorn, just in time for the fight with Valerie, though I won't even need to use it since once again Thumper sweeps the first 2 Pokémon, despite the fight being stretched out by healing and defense boosts. When he gets too low on HP I swap to the newly acquired Manganese to finish off the Sylveon with a couple of Magnet Bombs. Nothing interesting really happens in between gyms 6 and 7, I catch a Pawniard but I don't end up using her and I once again fight Serena. Ever since Zirconium's evolution I have given her the Eviolite to hold, which makes her a defensive beast. Couple this with Sword's Dance setup and the result is an easy sweep of Psychic-type gym leader Olympia. After Gym 7, the difficulty finally spikes, starting with the final Lysandre fight. I lead with Thumper against his Mienshao, which may seem like a mistake, but the previous battles with Lysandre showed me that he always started off with a Swords Dance, so I take the opportunity to set up Stealth Rocks. I then swap into Zirconium to dodge a high jump kick and follow it up with an Acrobatics for the KO. My best counter to his Pyroar is Manganese with her dual rock typing. She tanks 2 Fire Blasts, hanging on with a mere 1 hit point and taking it down with a Power Gem in retaliation. I obviously have to switch now against the Honchkrow and bring in Thumper, who can take it down with a Stone Edge after suffering some bad RNG. Now is when he sends out his Mega Gyarados, and I have to make a sacrifice. Selenium has been of little use so far and will likely not be of any in the future, so she has to take the shot. Her sacrifice grants me a safe switch into Tantalum, who can now deal with the Mega Gyarados with a now super effective Power Whip. Selenium's replacement comes in the form of Silicon the Durant. She has the Hustle ability, but that can be worked around, as I will show you in the Bridge Rival Gauntlet. A single Hone Claws is enough to offset the accuracy loss while simultaneously boosting my attack. This means that Silicon can easily one-shot Shauna's Pokémon. Tierno leads with a frightening Talonflame, but it doesn't actually have any fire moves because Tierno is a failure as a trainer. It still deals major damage with Acrobatics though, and the Flame Body ability triggers, meaning I have to already swap out Silicon before even taking down an opponent. Not how I envisioned this battle. I bring in Tantalum with her high defenses to take it down with Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet Chip, using the turn to set up a curse as well. The Crawdaunt stands no chance against a Power Whip, and neither does the Rosade against an Iron Head. Trevor is a pushover and the fight isn't even worth commentating. The final gym leader is the Ice-type leader Wulfric. His Pokémon are tough defensively but are severely lacking in special defense. Because of his high special attack, Titanium can one-shot all 3 of his Pokémon using the special type move Aura Sphere. The last hurdle standing before the Pokémon League is the Victory Road fight with Serena, who still does not even have a full team of 6 even this late into the game. Watch how I absolutely demolish her team with Silicon and have Manganese finish off the Altaria. Because of level up moveset reasons, it is absolutely crucial that I defeat Seabold first. His Clawitzer is a massive threat and brings down Silicon to a mere 2 HP. She was definitely dead to a crit. Luckily I came prepared with a Persim Berry to cure confusion and can take it down with an X-Scissor. Sadly I have no choice but to let Silicon go down now, but not before halving the Gyarados HP, and slowing it. This guarantees a safe switch into Manganese, the only team member that can survive an earthquake thanks to her sturdy ability, and take down the Gyarados with a Thunderbolt. The Barbaracle is also a massive threat with Cross Chop, so I make use of Zirconium's Ghost type. The plan was to kill with Power Whip, but I of course miss the 90% accurate move and get hit with a crit on top of that. I have to swap back to Zirconium and set up with Swords Dances so I can take it down with an Iron Head and one-shot the Starmie with a priority Shadow Sneak. Second off, I have to pick Drasna, once again because of moveset reasons. Titanium is a special beast though, all the more because he has access to Calm Mind. After setting up 2 Calm Minds, he can kill all of Drasna's Pokémon in a single turn with Dragon Pulse. Third off is Wikstrom, a fellow Steel-type enjoyer. We both lead with our Hazard leads as he sets up Spikes with Klefki and I set up Stealth Rock with Thumper. Once Thumper takes down the Klefki, he can also one-shot the Probopass with a quad effective dig now that its sturdy is gone, but not without taking a massive amount of damage from an Earth Power first. This means that she will go down on the next turn to Wikstrom's Aegislash. The Aegislash is now in attack mode however, so I send in Titanium to hit it with a Bulldoze for a little more than half and slow it down. Sadly he couldn't tank a Sacred Sword and the starter goes down. Wikstrom then annoyingly heals his Aegislash twice, so I set up Swords Dance with Zirconium. I can then take it down with a Shadow Sneak and 2-shot the Sizer thanks to the attack boost while tanking Night Slashes thanks to the Eviolite. Last of the Elite Four is Malva, the Fire-type user. I lead with Manganese against her Pyroar. If I can correctly set up against the Pyroar, Manganese will actually be guaranteed to outspeed and one-shot all of her Pokémon. The caveat, however, is that I cannot allow her to be hit with a Noble Roar. Malva, however, immediately opts for a Noble Roar, so I have to sacrifice Tantalum to reset my stats with Manganese. I can now no longer afford to set up and have to risk not being able to kill with Manganese later down the line. Even though the power gems are all one-shots, I wasn't able to boost my speed, meaning the Talonflame gets to deal damage with a neutral Flare Blitz. This is looking very bad for Manganese, since she should be dead to a Flamethrower from the Chandelure now. I have no choice but to let Manganese go down here as I prepare to kill it with Shadow Sneak from Zirconium, but for whatever inexplicable reason Malva decides to go for a Confide instead of the kill, but not even lowering Manganese's special attack can save the frail Chandelure from death. This means Manganese actually gets to live to see the champion fight, although she wasn't needed for it. Diantha's lead Hawlucha is about as useful against Zirconium as Karina's was. I can set up 3 Swords Dances and sweep the entire team for what is perhaps the most anticlimactic champion fight in all of Pokémon. Her Tyrantrum surviving a Shadow Sneak and using Crunch did scare me for a second, but the boosted defense from Eviolite meant Zirconium was fine to continue her onslaught. And with that anticlimactic battle out of the way, I enter the Hall of Fame, which means I have successfully completed this hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokémon Y using only Steel types. Thank you for watching.